And we are live here on Warrior Wellness Wednesday. We're about to get a dose of spiritual transformation, physical transformation, emotional and psycho-spiritual transformation
Oh, wow.
from the goddess Capricorn Shamaness in the building today. So we are prepared for our upgrade. We are prepared for our transformation. We are coachable. We are teachable. We were ineligible, but we walking in this space of eligibility and
Wow.
abundance and empowerment. We are ready. Okay. So becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present the others for our monthly healing upgrade session. We got the Warrior Healing Upgrading Mind of Capricorn Shamaness. Peace and love to you, goddess. What's going on? Why going?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Knowledge, for having me on today. You always have great openings. Thank you so much. I love the praise. Appreciate it. Oh my gosh, so much is happening in the world. Where do you want to start? What do you want to talk about today, Knowledge?
I want to speak directly to a couple of groups of people. I want to talk to. I would like to speak to the healers. I would like for you to speak to those that are in need of healing and those ones that are in between. So, those ones who have healing properties and potential and don't know how to direct their gifts and their talents because it's new to them, it's strange to them. Those healers who know what's on the horizon and what's happening and where their focus should be, and those who are in need of healing. How do those other two classes break the barrier to be able to get those folks in the mind frame receiving this healing energy and not look at it as uh, cursed, fear mongering, in time, those people. So that's
Well,
three groups of people for now.
okay. um, First off, the healers. Welcome. For the ones that are newly being activated, welcome. Um, I think for everyone, what's important when you're on this path, not necessarily plugged into the 3D of it all, but if you start going higher, more into 4 and 5D, recognizing where we are, humanity in general. The planet, she is taking care of herself. Um, the planet is fine. For those of you that have had a chance, I hope you've had a chance to go out into nature during this process. You'll see that spring is here. The planet is doing what it does, and humanity is where we need to do the work. I think what needs to happen and what I'm hearing a lot of people talking about is working on themselves. We have to take some time. Um, Gaia has pretty much put us on quarantine. Everybody sit your ass down and be still. And so, in the sitting down, in the stillness, you've got to unplug from the media at some point. You've got to pull your energy back and start to look within and figure out what's going on with you. Um, the global consciousness is going through a process. We're going through a reset. We're going through an upgrade, and we're also getting our butts whipped. From a spiritual perspective, the whole planet is having to sit down, and so there's so much there. There's so many pieces there. For the healers, I want to challenge you to go to the place that resonates with you the most. And that's where you invest your energy and invest what you want to contribute to the planet. from that perspective. Um, what means most to you. But ultimately, I think where you have to start is you got to start within. We have to go into stillness. We have to go into silence. We have to go into self-reflection. Um, Otherwise, we're just being plugged into everybody else's messages, everybody else's fear narratives, and spending your time and your energy being triggered by everything that's going on. You are the God force. The God force residing in you. It made itself manifest as you, and you're walking the planet as it, having experiences as it, a physical experience, but you're a spiritual being. And so I think what is happening now, it's time for us to reconnect with our spirituality, going within, reconnecting with the soul, reconnecting with the higher self, understanding what is important for you. And the thing about it is that there is both shadow work and light work that needs to be done. There's not a one or the other. Truthfully, there's never been just one versus the other. Both are simultaneously happening, both are needed in this realm. And being the God force that you are, you have to go within, do your work. And so there's a little bit of the love and light of it all. There's a little bit of you unwinding your own unconscious energy, going in and dealing with your own ego, dealing with your own shadow, doing your work to heal yourself. And from there, uh, you will get the guidance, the insight in terms of where you need to go with other people. And so, in short, that would be my suggestion. Start with yourself. You got to go within. You got to get silent. You got to get still. um, while you're sitting in quarantine, you need to have a journal around somewhere, so that as different things are coming up, you're able to write those things out, jot those things down. Everything is a lesson. You can learn from everything. There's a reason why it's showing up in your reality. There's a reason why it's showing up for you. And so you have to start unplugging from the collective and getting centered within yourself and understanding what all this means for you specifically. Did that answer your question?
Yes. So you was talking to the healers. You say, "Welcome,
Yes.
God damn it, welcome."
Welcome,
Okay.
welcome to all of you that are getting activated, that are coming online. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your service. Um, Come, learn, learn within and learn without, and then you'll have something to give.
So what about them in between folk? The middle children in this healing process.
For those people, as you're starting to wake up, it's still going to be the same thing in terms of going within, recognizing that as you're coming online, as you're getting activated, as you're becoming aware, as you're quote unquote waking up, um, what spirit, how spirit is making that happen. What are the messages that you're getting? What is the insight that you're getting? And learning to lean into it, to go deeper into it, not only within yourself, but also getting support from from healers that are already established, already working, um, have already been working this path, so that you can get the support that you need. Because there's a lot of people that are coming online. There are a lot of people that are waking up and they need the services. But if you're just starting, before you can, what do they say? Before you can walk, you have to crawl. It goes in baby steps. And so if you're trying to heal someone from a broken place, then, it poses challenges. So I would say do your work and get the support that you need from a seasoned healer or a seasoned teacher, mentor, someone that can support you on this journey and in this process. Make sense? And
Makes sense.
there's a
Now what?
gazillion different healing modalities. Spirit will teach you what you need to know. For yourself, you'll get guided to certain things. Me myself, I've studied a bunch of different healing modalities, and it's been interesting to me when I go into the classes and learn the different techniques. A lot of times there's things that I've already been doing intuitively but did not realize that it was, a specific hand mudra or a specific technique for channeling or directing the energy. And so educate yourself, get into and practice. That's what I would suggest.
Now, what about them baby children? We talked to the older children already, the middle children. What about them baby children?
um I think the message is still the same. It's still the same. You have to do your work. You have to go within. You have to understand yourself as light. You also get to understand your shadow and what needs to be done there, why it's working with you the way that it's working with you. And so you're going to want to get some support, get some education, read, get some books, get some practice. And for everybody across the board, meditation. You have to come into a space where you're in control of your mind. And being plugged in, being constantly getting triggered, feeding your energy into the media, being fed the narrative from the media and all of that stuff. You have to put a pause on that. At some point, you need to take some time. And so, meditation. You can start off, if you're brand new to this, 5 minutes a day and build from there. If you have trouble quieting your mind, and you will, expect that. Don't, put unrealistic expectations on yourself. Expect that you're going to have trouble with it, because we all have had to figure out the process of coming into control of our minds, managing the mind, the thoughts, and getting it to be silent and still. It's a process. And so you build from, say, 5 minutes a day to 20, 30 minutes, an hour long, whatever calls, whatever spirit guides you to. But definitely meditation and education, knowledge.
Ma'am.
Next question.
All right. So, what are some of the, I would say, what are some of the tips that you could share with people during this time? A lot of the pandemic, uh, fear mongering, the sky is falling. It's Judgment Day. Scenarios are coming, and
Um,
constant type of push towards that. You see what I'm saying? So, can you kind of get into that? And you touched on it at the beginning. Where's the earth and where are we? And how do we sync ourselves back in line with that harmony?
it's got to come back from you. You got to go back within the self. So part of what's happening is the the global consciousness. And when people talk about that, let me help you to understand this. You yourself, sitting where um, you are a spiritual being having a physical experience. You have consciousness. You are an organism. There are millions of cells within you that each have consciousness, and then they come together collectively to formulate the vessel that most people identify as themselves. You're way bigger than that. You're way more than that. But those cells come together, and collectively they work and formulate a vibration that is pretty much your stamp, your signature, your frequency, where you are. It came together from all those millions of cells that comprise your physical body, that comprise you. And then if you put that in a room with another being, then that being has its own consciousness. And so the two of you coming together, your energy gets entangled, and there's a different frequency when the two pieces come together. And so every time you add another person into that grouping, another person into that grouping, then the consciousness is shifting, and morphing based upon all the people that are comprising it. So if you think about this, you're a single person, that single entity is one part of it. When you're in a home with a family structure, you go into a home, the energy in a home is set a specific way, and that's because of the energy not only in the house, the home itself, or the apartment or whatever. It's also comprised of the people that live there and the people that are operating there. And so then you expand that out into social settings, churches, groups, work. That's another collective that is, you're when you're plugged into that group, you're now plugged into that. You're affected by what's happening in the group and what's happening within yourself. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So you have a collective energy within your block, your neighborhood. You can drive through your city right now, walk through your city right now, and the energy in one neighborhood is different than the energy in another neighborhood. Then there's the energy of the city, the energy of the region, the counties, the states, the parishes. You know what I'm saying? Like every one of these groups that you're connected to, it has consciousness because of all the other people that are connected in that group. And so, if you want to take control of your mind and take control of how much of this fear narrative is affecting you, then you've got to become aware of where your energy is plugged into and start to unplug it. And when you unplug it and you get into the stillness, you get into the meditation, you get into the silence, and you give your spirit, your consciousness, your millions of cells, and the energy that represents you a chance to speak to you. You get clear about what that is. And from there, when you get that, where you get an understanding of yourself, you can set the energy the way that you want it. If there's something that's going on inside of you that isn't working for you, then you become aware of it and you can choose something different. You can choose better. You can make a different choice. You can get education to understand how to shift it. If you don't know, you can get support from people within these groups that you're plugged into, or maybe you recognize these groups are not the groups that I need to be plugged into. I need to find a group that resonates with some of the things that I'm working my way through. And so this is what I'm talking about in terms of, getting still, going within, understanding what's necessary for you, dealing with your own shadow, and understanding what your shadow is trying to communicate to you, what you need to learn, discover, or remember, how you need to set the energy within you. Everybody else can be afraid about what's happening in the world, but what is your vision for what you're creating? While they're out having these moments of being, afraid and paranoid or whatever it is they've got going on with them, if you unplug from that, then you get a choice. You have a choice the whole time, but take action upon the choice that resonates most with you by moving your energy in the direction of what it is that you want, not what you don't want. And there's you don't have to create from the past. The past is the past. That happened a second ago, a minute ago, a year ago, 5 years ago. This moment right here is this moment. The moments that are coming in the future, those are separate moments. You don't have to create from the pain from your past. You don't have to create from the trauma of your past. You don't have to create from what you don't like right now. That's why it's important to become aware, to become conscious. And from that space of consciousness, you can make a different choice. Make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the other things that I would say is, when you get to that stillness point, um, there comes a point afterwards when it's almost like the inbox, all the things that have been sitting there that you haven't been addressing, that you haven't been responding, you haven't been, either because you haven't been aware of it or you've been ignoring them, you just don't know, whatever, all of that stuff comes up. And take the time to assess yourself. You don't have to deal with everything at once. You don't. But the things that come up that, grab your attention, that pull at your heartstrings, this is the perfect time now to sit in the energy of that stuff. Allow yourself to feel those feelings, because underneath those feelings, there is wisdom, there's insight, there's information that you need so that you can make the choices that are necessary for the next stages in your life. The world is not going to be what it was before. The past is done. And so it's going to continue to evolve. That's what it was doing before this pandemic happened. That's what it's going to continue to do once this is resolved and put to bed. How are you going to be? How are you going to show up? What's going to be the difference between where you were yesterday and where you are going to be tomorrow? It's up to you. So self-assessment is something that you need to get into. Another thing for people that are really tied into all of these narratives, you're not in your bodies. You've got to get back into your bodies. Breathe. That's the beauty of meditation. Focusing on your breath, and also understanding what's happening in your senses. What's happening? What am I seeing? What am I smelling? What's going on right now in this moment? What am I touching? What am I tasting? What are the textures that are in my reality right now at this moment? Getting back to you, back to center. And then what do I really want to have in my life if it's not the stuff that you're experiencing right now? Another thing that's really good for people to be doing right now at this time is seeking out the things that they enjoy, what makes you happy, what brings you pleasure. If you have all of this high, a lot of negative energy or a lot of chaotic energy, you want to bring in energies that will balance it out to, the equal opposite to balance it out. So you can't spend all your time being, hyped and triggered by everybody's fear and what they think is going to happen, and the world's coming saying whatever those things are. Um, if you have an hour a day in that, you need to have like an hour or two outside of that, so that that energy is not dominating your world, that you're actually spending time in the energy that is more reflective of what it is that you desire, what it is that you want for yourself. And then the last thing that I would say is pleasure, seeking out satisfaction at this particular time. Again, just in life in general, there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance. If you're going to work hard, then you need to play hard. And so if you're going to spend your time preparing for whatever needs to be prepared for, or handling whatever needs to be handled, then you also need to take some time to celebrate what's working right, what you're enjoying, or to just say, fuck it. I'm just going to do me for a little while, have a little fun and enjoy myself. Um, it doesn't have to be all work. It doesn't have to be all business. It doesn't have to be all about, spiritual evolution. Sometimes it's just about this particular moment. This morning, I took my walk and, I just snapped some pictures of what I was experiencing out in nature with the squirrels and the beautiful trees, the um, ducks out, enjoy being out in nature, seeing the animals play. I don't really like to touch them. I don't want to be, I don't want to be bothered with all of them, but I do love to see them in their natural habitat, enjoying themselves. It's inspiration to me. And so you've got to find what brings you pleasure and make sure that while you're doing all the things that you're doing, that you're also investing your energy into um, satisfying yourself, pleasuring yourself, enjoying life, and making sure that there is balance. And for people that are in the house with a lot of other people, find a way to quarantine yourself, even in the midst of everything that's going on with the people that are in the house. Take a few minutes, sneak a few minutes um, off in the bathroom, go outside into the backyard if everybody's in the house or whatever, and just take some time for yourself where you can um, find pleasure in the present moment. So those are all my points for what people can do today while they're moving through this process.
Okay, so you just had an event prior to this whole situation. How was that event? And do you have like some alternate methods for continuing to do what you do virtually until at such time as these things become available again?
Well, actually, what I'm doing is I've done a lot of things virtually for a while now. Actually, Saturday I have a group healing session that's coming up. I'll be channeling and administering activations and doing healing energetics to boost the immune system. Um, since a lot of people are asking for that type of support right now, it's perfect. So I'll be doing that. It's a virtual class, and so you actually you purchase the ticket, and it's only 11.11 for this session. And then you just dial in and you join. If you want to do a private healing session, you can do that with me as well. So pretty much all of the things that I do, you can book a session, and we can do it either via phone or video chat. So most of my classes, I'm moving them to teleconferences or video conferences. But I've been doing the teleconferences now for many years. So it wasn't a really big jump for me. What was most effective was a lot of the live events that um, meeting different clients and stuff in person. To solve some of that, I'm actually going to be posting some stuff later on about I don't want to call it like a psychic fair or virtual fair or anything like that, but I'm going to designate a day in the month where if people want to get like sample readings, they can, like what they would have gotten if they had come to a live event, or if they want to experience the healing energetics or the activation energy, they can book a sample session, and we'll spend um, about 15 minutes with them, helping them answer whatever questions they have and shifting whatever the energy is within the vessel. Make sense? You can get all of that capricornshamaness.me. Capricorn Shamaness on Instagram, on Facebook. Also, the activations. I have about 70 activations probably now on Etsy. And I'm also expanding into Shopify. So I'll be announcing my Shopify store here shortly. So there's a few things that I have going on. The social distancing should not keep clients that are ready to move forward with their work away. Like, I have the solution. Come on through. Oh, you're pulling up the website.
Oh yeah, I got to do the commercial. You understand what I'm saying? The
Gosh.
commercial.
So then go to
You
activations.
know that.
So for those of you that are on this journey, the you're healing, you're working on yourself, you're growing yourself. These offerings are absolutely amazing, 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 amazing. I've channeled healing frequencies that will support you. If you scroll down, you can see the list. But I've channeled all kinds of healing frequencies that will support you in healing yourself on your journey. There's activations for ancestral work. There's activations for emotional healing. There's activations to help with mental clarity. There's activations to heal your physical body. There's activations to help with your finances. Um, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff that's out there. So I would check out this page if you want to get uh, have an opportunity to experience my work without us actually having to have a conversation. I've pre-recorded these healing sessions. People rave about them all the time. I get lots of positive feedback about them, about how they were able to listen and allow the energy to just to shift them. There's color healing. That's the grouping that you're scrolling past now. The archangels are out here. So there's 12 different activations that will attune you to archangels. There's I think like maybe 10 to 12 of the color healing activations. So most of the healers, hopefully you know that each color has its own frequency. It has its own vibrations, and so each of the items out here that are in the Healing Power of Color series, uh, every single one of them, you can listen to those activations and attune yourself to the energy of that color. And then I do some work to actually use that color to heal your body. So there's a lot of stuff here. There's activations for psychic healing. I think I already said that. Spiritual healing. If you want to play around with your own healing abilities, there's activations to help clear out anything that might be blocking you from fully stepping into your path as a healer. So this is definitely where I would tell people to start. You can get a taste of what I'm offering, and it's 1111. Love, love, love the number. And it's definitely within um, it's definitely within your budget. And the love activation is actually the activation of the week. So if you're on like Facebook or Instagram, you'll see postings and stuff for it today. And if you want to work directly with me, then you can go to consultations and book a session there. Um, and you'll get an opportunity to talk with me over the phone or to chat it up um, via video conference. Any other questions?
Just scrolling through so they can see what going on over here. You understand? So I need them to know
Okay.
what's happening. Okay. Let's see what's happening. So yeah. An increase or a
So
decrease,
healers,
or is it
if you
still been the same? What would you say if you had to gauge?
with what in terms of what
What was your What was you about to say?
you said something about an increase or a decrease, and I was just asking clarity in terms of what.
in regards to inquiry, people, getting services or looking to get started,
Um, it kind of depends on the day. Like it's, it's been there are days when there's, there's more activity than other days, but it's been kind of consistent all the way through. Like, I still get people that are reaching out for sessions. I still get people with inquiries about the offerings. I have some people inquiring about mentorship. So, and oh, speaking about mentorship, so I have two mentorship programs that are running right now. One is for people that are healers that are wanting to go more into the healing arts, explore more of themselves as healers. In that program, I actually certify you for Reiki. So you can actually go through all the levels of Reiki, get the certification for it, and you're going to learn way more than Reiki, because I don't just do one healing modality. When I'm working on a person, I pull from my grab bag of things. And so when I'm teaching healers how to do their healing work, I'm actually I teach them from all of the different modalities that I work with, and not just one. And then from there, you get to choose the one that resonates with you, and then you take your journey and do with it, what spirit has for you to do with it. So the Shamaness Way is one mentorship program, and then the other mentorship program is the Enchantress, and in that program, it's for those that are mainly on the spiritual path. So you're not necessarily looking at yourself as a healer, but you are looking at yourself as someone who, you're wanting to grow, to evolve, to understand these things. Yourself as a spiritual being, having this human experience. And so we cover all kinds of things there. Um, Intuition. Uh, we cover we cover a lot. I spent a year in the mentorship program, and we hit so many different parts of it. So for those of you that are wanting to go more in it, that want someone to guide you along the path, share with you the wisdom of their experience, and help you to cultivate and grow your own wisdom, then the mentorship programs are available. There's an application under mentorship on the website, and you can plug it in there, put your information in there, and I'll get it, and we start the process. Or you can just inbox me, Capricorn Shamaness. I'm sorry, info at capricornshamaness.me, or Capricorn Shaman at gmail.com. Or you can just go on the website, and there's a contact form. You can plug information in there, or hit me up on any of the social media, Facebook or Instagram. Message me, and we can start the process there. So there's an interview process to make sure that you're actually ready um, for mentorship, and then we just kind of go from there. So there you have it. Oh, thank you, Knowledge. Oh my goodness.
so final remarks, acknowledgments, shout outs again. Repetition leads to mastery. So sometimes you got to say some stuff over and over again in order for people to get it. As an entrepreneur, it takes 7 to 10 times of an exposure for someone to act. So um, find a message before you come back next month.
My final message is that divine.
Yes.
You are a divine being having a human experience. If there's anything that I could do to serve you while you are on this process, so all you have to do is reach out. CapricornShamaness.me is the website, or as I said earlier, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. You can send me an email directly, and I will do my best to support you in the ways that I can. I want to see people continue to win. I want to see people continue to evolve. I want to see people continue to free themselves from the shackles that have held them hostage in the past and walk forward empowered, um, living the lives that they want to live for themselves, knowing that it's possible and actually enjoying it, not just living the lives, but actually enjoying the lives. So, whatever it is that I can do to serve you, please reach out. Let me know. I'm here. Be blessed. Stay safe. Take care of you. Take a moment to take care of you. Peace.
We out of here. So I catch the replay. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell them to tune in, and we will be back next month with our goddess Capricorn Shamaness.
Thank you for having me. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, knowledge.
Peace.